They told us civilization began in Egypt. They told us before the pyramids there was nothing, no science, no mathematics, no advanced knowledge, just primitive humans learning to survive. But what if that was a lie? What if Egypt did not invent civilization, but inherited it? What if the knowledge that built the pyramids was already ancient, even to the Egyptians themselves? There are stone structures older than Egypt, cut with precision modern machines still struggle to match. There are maps showing continents before ice ages melted. There are mathematical constants hidden in monuments built thousands of years before they were discovered. And there are ancient Egyptian texts that whisper something terrifying. We rebuilt what was already destroyed. Destroyed by what? A flood? A cataclysm? A forgotten global collapse? History says Egypt was the beginning, but evidence says Egypt was the survivor. Tonight, we are not asking who built Egypt. We are asking something far more dangerous. Who came before Egypt, and why were they erased? Welcome to the knowledge that was never meant to be remembered. Welcome to Echoes of History, the place where silenced voices finally speak, and forgotten truths rise from the dust of time. What you're about to hear is not myth, not fantasy, not conspiracy. It is a puzzle built from archaeology, ancient texts, lost science, and uncomfortable evidence. Let's begin at the point history refuses to explain. Egypt officially begins around 3100 BCE. But the Great Pyramid already appears fully perfected. No trial and error, no experimental phase, no primitive versions. Civilizations don't start at perfection. They evolve. Yet Egypt's greatest achievement appears at the beginning, not the end. Why? Because the Egyptians themselves said they were restoring ancient knowledge, not creating it. The Temple of Edfu texts describe a time before the dynasties, an age ruled by divine beings known as Shemsu Hor. They weren't gods. They were called followers of Hor. According to the texts, they possessed advanced knowledge of geometry, astronomy, sacred measurements, earth energy. And then something happened. The texts describe a great flood fire from the sky darkness, the destruction of the first time. The Egyptians called this lost age Zep Tepi, the first time, not a myth, a memory. And Egypt believed it was only the second chapter of human history. Let's talk about stone, granite, the hardest stone Egypt used. Granite that today requires diamond-tipped tools to cut cleanly. Yet we find perfectly drilled holes, smooth internal cuts, symmetry within fractions of a millimeter. These are not hammer and chisel results. Egyptians left no tools capable of this precision, but they left something else. Blueprints, the pyramid codes, pi phi, the golden ratio, Earth's circumference, cardinal directions aligned within 0.05 degrees. Even modern engineers struggle to match that accuracy. And then there's the question nobody wants to answer. Why build pyramids before mastering basic architecture? Why not start small? Unless the knowledge was already there, inherited, remembered, not invented. Egypt was not alone. Identical symbols appear in South America, in ancient India, in Mesopotamia. Serpent gods, flood myths, sky knowledge, different cultures. Same story. A global civilization destroyed. Survivors scattered. Egypt was one of the few places where fragments survived, and the Egyptians knew it. That's why knowledge was restricted. That's why priests guarded secrets. That's why initiation rituals existed. Knowledge was dangerous because it reminded humanity of what it lost. So why don't we learn this in school? Because history isn't written to tell the truth. It's written to create order. A lost advanced civilization means humanity rose before humanity fell. Humanity could fall again. That idea terrifies power. Egypt understood cycles. They believed civilization rises, collapses, and rises again. We are not the first, and we will not be the last. The pyramids weren't built for kings. They were built as messages, stone warnings, saying, "We were here before, we fell, learn or repeat our fate." Lost pre-Egypt knowledge is not about the past, it's about the future. Because the real question is no longer, did a civilization exist before Egypt? The real question is, are we becoming them again? History didn't begin with Egypt. Egypt was the memory, and memories can be erased, but not forever. Some truths are buried because they are too powerful, and some civilizations are forgotten because remembering them would change everything.